welcome to Wednesday's Inside Look by Brooks. Steve Brooks here on a very cold Florida day. So this is my Facebook Live that is going to evolve. We're starting a new podcast next week. So the deal will be it'll be the same time, Wednesdays at 12:30, and we will start out with Facebook Live and do the podcast simultaneously. The Facebook Live will go about 5 to 7 minutes, and it'll cover the overview. And then the podcast will continue on for 20, 25, 30 minutes. So I'm excited about this. This is, podcast is, I listen to podcasts. They're really neat. And we want to do some really neat stuff. We want to interview people in the Polk and Hillsborough County communities, people who are leaders, people who have novel and new ideas, people who are involved in great charity works. So it's going to be really fascinating and interesting for me just to get to know these people better, and hopefully you can get to know them with me. So the podcast name will be called Look to Brooks with Steve. And it's, we're scheduling like from 12:30 to 1 on Wednesdays, but it's going to be 20 to 30 minutes long, maybe a little longer some days. And it will mostly be an interview format where we'll interview guests. And I believe our first guest next week is going to be Susan Eldridge with Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels is a great organization that serves the elderly and the needy who can't get out of their house and need meals hot meals delivered. And this is a great personal meaning to us, because we as a law firm have a Meals on Wheels route where one or two employees will service the route every Friday, I believe, to our local community. So it's really it's going to be interesting, and they do so much good for so many people. We're also going to have a Facebook page a new Facebook page that will be solely about the new podcast. And we will share that information on the Brooks Law Group Facebook page, and also my personal page. Is it my personal page or my public figure page? Okay, yeah. So our first guest is Susan Eldridge, as I mentioned, who is the executive director for Meals on Wheels for Polk County. And then our second guest is going to be Brad Beatty, and that will be February 5th. Brad is the head of an organization called Heart for Winter Haven, but it's not just about Winter Haven. They serve the whole Polk County community. And then we are going to have some Hillsborough guests on coming up. Looking forward to those two, but just wanted to announce the first two. And we're all excited about it. We're getting new cameras and everything, so I'm looking forward to that. Today, in about 3 hours, I'm taking off for Las Vegas. I'm a member of two different mastermind groups, and this is the group we call the Titanium Mastermind Group. And it is essentially 12 law firms who the head of the law firms get together, and we lock ourselves in a hotel room for 2 days, and we share our best practices, both in how to run the law firm and how to run the cases. We share legal strategies that are working in their markets. And we share this freely because we all come from different markets, so we're not concerned about a competitor using our information. And we just I always come away from those meetings so recharged and so amped up with all these new ideas and to assist our clients in a way that is cutting edge. And so I'm looking forward to that. So I'll be back. It's just a 2-day meeting, so I'll be back in a couple of days. So that's it. That's pretty much it for me. The attorneys we're meeting with in Las Vegas come from Kentucky, I think New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, and I can't remember the other, but these are major law firms in major markets. And they sit down with me and share all their great ideas and best strategies, and I do the same. So it's exciting, and that's what has kept Brooks Law Group on the cutting edge, is admitting that I don't know it all. But if I have colleagues that share their best practices with me and I share mine with them, it keeps us all on the cutting edge. So it's a win-win. So thank you for joining me. Look forward to seeing you next week for the new podcast. And Facebook Live will still be here, of course. And as always, if you have any questions about anything I've talked about or anything injury related, you can always contact me, steve@brookslawgroup.com. That's steve@brookslawgroup.com. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for Wednesday's Inside Look by Brooks. Thank you.